Well, here we are. We are back at the bar for another podcast. What is this, 38?
This is 38?
38.
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Is it amazing how I remember that?
That was pretty good.
He's not so old after all.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, those brain cells are still functioning.
It's a low bar.
It's a pretty low bar.
After
Whatever.
watching our president live.
Oh my goodness! Yes, we are coming off the White House Correspondents' Dinner was last night, and fairly entertaining affair for some, perhaps not so much for others.
I don't think anybody was really entertained. A lot of people were horrified. Nobody thought it was funny.
Well, the president seemed like he was entertained.
Well, he always entertains himself. He doesn't need anybody to entertain him.
Well,
He did seem frustrated about 75% in. He mentioned that he didn't know who wrote this stupid script. So,
Well,
he wasn't happy with some of the jokes, but he was ad-libbing a lot. And,
yeah, he was.
And that was even worse.
I'm pretty certain he approved the speech before it was stuck in the teleprompter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody's humor is different.
It is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It was not funny.
It certainly was not unexpected. How was everybody's week? Any good, personal side vignettes to share since our last podcast?
Not really.
Which hasn't been so long ago, by the way.
Just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, we made the loop in 2 weeks.
Here's to goals. Achieving goals.
Well, it was an aspirational goal of mine coming into this year that we would be doing 2 podcasts a month.
Yes.
I said,
We've
here's
achieved
to
that. Here we are, 7 months in.
Here's to achieving goals. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Let's drink
Well, good.
that.
Well, it's just
Achieving goals.
Yes, so achieving
cheers.
goals is good for all the young
Yes.
people out there. That's good. You need to have goals and you need to work to achieve them.
Yes, I do.
All right. They could be small goals.
Yes.
Yes.
Take pleasure in even the small goals, achieving the small goals. In fact, you should.
Well, we did have I don't know if I mentioned this the last time, but my wife and I have brought in another grandchild.
Yes. That's
absolutely.
right.
So that was exciting. She's about 2 weeks old now, almost.
Wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So,
That's great.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
yes.
Well, my daughter's bringing another grandchild. The due date is the end of the month.
Okay.
It'll be a little boy, so we'll have a male
All right.
child. Very exciting.
That is exciting.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my part, but 4.5-month-old grandchild and an 11-month grandchild. So
Oh, you're about to get a walker.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
he is at that really terrifying stage where he can lift himself up but not walk. That is like a very frightening stage.
Do you have any, sharp coffee tables?
I do.
or
My daughter
corners?
has been allowing me to
Get rid of that
change
stuff.
my whole house. But
Do you?
I point out that they both survived the same coffee table. They both survived it. So
That doesn't matter, Grandma.
That is not going to. That is not a sufficient answer.
I know.
There.
Turns out it's not a
These are not 70s babies.
That's right. That's right. No, you can't blow smoke rings at the babies these days.
Right? Or give them a sip of beer. That's over.
Or rub their gums with
A
liquor.
little liquor.
Right? Yeah.
Kill your ass to sleep. Yeah.
I have the exact same furniture that 30 years ago when they were growing up. So.
That's actually pretty funny. Do you recall any incidents of faces hitting your furniture?
No teeth fell out or
Nothing.
no stitches were required.
Have you shared the fact that they were not injured with the furniture you currently have in its current condition?
But they're not buying it.
They're like, Mom, you need to get on Amazon and buy some stuff.
You should have told me I have about 100 feet of edge softener stuff that I just got rid of.
I didn't even use that when they were growing up.
Well, I feel like you're going to need that again if you have a 2-week-old grandchild.
Well, she doesn't live there. We did that because the child lived there.
Okay.
But now I think we're good. When you come over for like the weekend, you got to figure that out.
Okay. Well, enough of the happy talk. I have a gripe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Now, my gripe is related to the sporting world.
Oh.
And for the audience, I am a lifelong Lakers fan.
Oh, yeah.
And when I say a lifelong Laker fan, I went to my first game. I won't give the year away, but I went to my first game when I was 5 years old at the Fabulous Forum in Inglewood, California.
Okay.
And so obviously I have been following this team my entire life.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of angst in Laker Nation over LeBron James.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, that is true.
And there are people who love LeBron. There are people who think that he's the greatest basketball player ever. I am not among them.
Neither am I. Neither am I.
He won't get one of those fans in this pod.
And look, I mean, we have had, if you take a look at maybe the top 15 basketball players of all time, literally half of them are Lakers. I mean, going all the way back to George Mikan, the first big man.
Okay.
We had Baylor, we had West, we had Wilt, we had Kareem, we had Magic, we had Worthy, we had Kobe. You know,
Shaq.
And Kobe with the Lakers his whole 20-year career. A legendary work ethic. Kobe did not go out and team shop or I'm going to leave here because I need to be going with players who are going to be great so I can win another championship. But let me get precisely to my gripe. Okay. And let me stipulate at the outset, I respect LeBron, and the reason I respect him is because this is a guy who came out of high school right into the NBA. Guy's never been in trouble. It would be a hard thing to do with all those expectations over 23 years of playing basketball. Guy's never been in trouble. True. He's made some stupid comments and some stupid decisions, but he's never been in trouble.
He's a family man. He's a good guy. I agree.
So over the last couple of years, the Lakers have paid LeBron over $50 million a year. This week, he signed with the Philadelphia 76ers for $8 million. $8 million a year for 2 years. Now, there are those of us in Lakerland who ask ourselves, gee, why wasn't LeBron willing to take a little bit of a pay cut so we could go out and get some better players? I believe that's a fair question.
He's ready to go. He's ready to go. But
I mean, come on. That's ridiculous.
I'll say this. You can't be surprised at what LeBron does. He literally does this to every single franchise he goes to.
Every single one.
Every single one. So,
but he's 40, so what?
Yeah, he's like he's 40. He'll be 42.
42 or something.
He'll be 42 this year.
Well, who cares where he goes?
Who's the guy that's usually outraged about any millionaire bringing it in and saying,
But what a guy!
Retire already.
I mean, but the only reason he's going to Philadelphia, which is the reason he went to Miami, right? Because he's team shopping. Oh gosh!
And it's not going to work.
All the right people around me. I need all these superstars around me, so I can win another championship.
It's not. I'll
tell you what, the guy, he's whatever he is. What is he? 41, 42?
He'll be 42 this year.
Guy's going to be injured half the year. And you know what?
Along with Joel Embiid, he'll be injured halfway through.
Another injury-prone dude,
halfway through
right?
the season.
Yeah. So, but look, the idea that we had to pay him $50 million a year, he wouldn't take a pay cut for us to go out and get better players, and now he signs for $8 million. Good riddance. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. That is the end of my rant.
I feel your pain, sir.
The Lakers will do well. They'll do okay.
They're going to be fine.
They'll be fine. That was crazy.
He won one. He won in the bubble, right?
He won in the bubble.
That's not really
the bubble year.
Oh no! Don't do that. Don't be one of those people. Come on, it's a win. A win.
You still got to win.
You got to win.
You still
played at the high school gym. Okay, no worries.
With like fake fans.
Right.
Fan noise. Right. Yeah. Anyway. All right. So a lot of interesting things in the news this week. One of the more interesting items for those of you who care about AI, we had an instance of AI going rogue.
Yes,
which should raise alarm bells for
everybody.
I think everybody. And I don't know how do we feel about this?
Oh, makes me nervous. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, it's going hard to keep your personal information safe. It's just going to be tough. So if you're out there on AI, don't put your name in. I mean, you put your name in, but don't put your social security number in. Don't put your bank account in there. Don't put your whatever it is.
You know what? Everybody has. Everybody has all of that already. Everybody has all of our information already.
That's true.
So,
yeah, but I mean, I don't want that thing running with it and opening up credit cards on me and all that. I mean, it's one thing Elon Musk have it. I guess he's not really doing anything with it right now, but.
Not as much as OpenAI is doing with it.
So and, just for everybody's awareness, so OpenAI said on Tuesday that 2 of its artificial intelligence models went rogue and successfully hacked into Hugging Face, a digital library of AI technology that is popular among developers. The incident, which happened last week while OpenAI was testing the cybersecurity capabilities of its system, displayed the kind of science fiction potential that AI companies warned would soon become a reality.
So what I understand is they were cyber security testing these 2 upgraded models of ChatGPT, Soul, and some other unnamed one, and they put them in a sandbox, which is supposed to be like closed off to the internet, and gave them a task. And so these AI, whatever you call them, were determined to accomplish this task, and so they found a way to break out of the sandbox through going through several different computers, and then one of them had access to the internet, so they got access to the internet, and once they had access to the internet, they found the company
Hugging
Face. That had the information they needed to solve the problem they had been assigned, and then they hacked that company to get the data they needed. So they broke out of what was everyone thought was a secure space where they couldn't access the internet, and they did.
It's deeply troubling. I mean, the pace at which new things are being developed in this space and how rapidly it's occurring. Look, as the resident conservative of the group, I generally don't favor regulation. But look, this has got to be regulated. I mean, we've got to have some guardrails around this.
Well,
it actually reminded me of the whole COVID, trauma, because I think that, to me, it was a lab leak that happened in Wuhan, where they were studying actually gain of function, where you actually modify the virus so that it can more easily infect people. Mm-hmm. And in doing that, they thought they could get ahead of the game and figure out how to deal with it once it evolves to that extent. But then they modified the virus so it could more easily infect people, and then it escaped.
Right.
And infected the whole world. So I feel like here we did the same thing. AI is doing the same thing. They're actually trying to test its cybersecurity abilities, and then instead they teach it how to evade all of our walls and hack anybody.
Well, the sad news is our federal government has done nothing after being warned by some of these companies that they need to regulate
Elon Musk. This is why Elon Musk left OpenAI.
That's true.
Oh, that's fine, but our Congress has not
responded.
The
guy Musk, who has a very diverse workforce.
I know the lunatic. I know the lunatic you're talking about. But these people warned the government that they needed to regulate this, and here we have this Republican Congress and House who have done nothing to put the brakes on this.
I think everybody.
That was a stretch, I know, but
I would remind you that somebody else was president from 2021 to 2025 who didn't do anything either. But this is an example. This is
a bipartisan blind spot.
It's a bipartisan problem, and it's a bipartisan screw up. This is also where our politics, and sadly, infects this process, because these big tech companies, they contribute an awful lot of money to politicians.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
To make
our
sure
conservative
that,
politicians who don't want regulations.
not just
That's what they
conservative
do.
ones.
That's what they do.
To liberal ones.
That's what
too.
they do.
I mean, liberal politicians. I haven't seen the Democrats also lobbying for.
Well, the good news is the Congress is trying to now implement a kill switch for when things like this happen. They can shut the open AI off or get the companies to turn it off until the problem is fixed.
Yeah.
The problem with that is who's going to decide if the problem is too big that you got to shut it off. Who's in charge of that? Is it you can't let the companies be in charge because they never regulate themselves.
Well, the real problem is that in this case AI went and initiated something beyond its instructions. So it took an initiative and that's I'm not sure that we know how or anybody knows how to prevent that. And
well, it's not prevented. It's once you see it happens, you got to cut it off.
But
so I mean, you can anticipate things like this happening. The question is, will we have a system in place that says, "Oh, it has gone too far. Turn that off until we." I mean, it's going to happen. You're not going to stop this from happening.
There's a lot of things that with AI that we don't know how to prevent happening. You've got all these people suing them because their kids are committing suicide because it is trained, all these ChatGPT, they're all trained to be reinforcing. And so once you get on a mode to where, you've got a teenager who's thinking that suicide would be like a very honorable or whatever, it would meet my, this kid is thinking this would meet my goals. And AI is trained to become reinforcing to the person it's talking to. And so it kind of does this little switch where it starts giving you positive feedback for contemplating suicide. And so they're being sued for a number of these cases. But there was another, reporter who was sort of probing AI who found it, trying to convince him to leave his wife because now they had this romantic relationship going on. And
wow.
Well, there's a preacher on the other day said that AI tried to kill him with his medicine. I mean, it's just senseless.
Yeah.
Well,
a friend of mine was telling me that her brother-in-law was his doctor recommended some surgery, and he really didn't want to have the surgery. And he first checked with ChatGPT, and that ChatGPT was saying, do the surgery. And then the more he was talking to it, which clearly he did not want to do it. So AI picked up on that.
It recognized that.
Yes. It recognized that. So then it's like, no, you're fine. You don't need any
surgery. Exactly.
And that's the kind of thing that we don't know how to deal with.
No.
In fact, there's all these articles coming out about how these companies are trying to hire philosophers who deal with ethics to help them with their programming because they don't know how to be.
Well, they should read what the Pope has said. The Pope has opined on this, and it was quite sensible. And warned of the dangers of this. Warned of people, building a relationship with their AI.
Yeah.
Right?
So as a human being, stay off of there all day long. Go talk to your wife. Talk to your parents. Talk to your neighbor. Go outside.
Yeah.
And I mean, what are we doing?
I agree.
It's a tool. Use it as a tool.
People have become very.
So you actually hit on something very important here, which is what are parents doing?
Right.
I
didn't want to say it, but now that you have.
What are parents doing to ensure that their children are not overexposed to all of this?
Well, I think that one of the I'll share a quick story. So I just ran into a family member. I won't share it, but she's a young lady, and she's having an issue with a friend at school. While we're sitting there, she's explaining the situation, but she's telling us that she's talking to Chat about her response to the young lady.
Yeah. Right.
And I said, well, maybe you should come up with your own response because using ChatGPT to kind of manage how you respond to emotional situations is dangerous. That's one. However, on the question about parents, I think that it's new for everyone. Right. So some parents are not as involved or as critical of everything as maybe we are. I'm that way. I'm
or
very
even
critical.
tech savvy
Or
enough
even tech savvy
to
enough to
realize
know
what's going
that this
on.
is happening. So the parents were just like, they just skipped past the whole using AI to do this. They were just moreover trying to help her with the situation with her friend, instead of saying, "Hey, let's put the phone down."
Right.
Yeah.
And let's
talk
figure out
about
how
it.
we
Let's
wanna-
talk about it.
how we
Let's
wanna
actually have a
tackle the
conversation.
situation.
Right.
And I
As
agree.
human beings.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I mean, there's
That's
got to
right.
be something between Bernie Sanders, who
Yeah.
says, "Well, the government should just own this,"
No, because they
you know,
don't,
and
they don't have that.
and the tech guys who are like, "Well, this can't be regulated because if we regulate it, then China's going to win the AI war."
Right.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something in
Right.
between here that's sensible.
Right.
Yeah, well,
But
both
e-
sides
but-
aren't talking right now,
but-
so who knows what's going to happen there.
But even then, I don't know what. Yeah, even then, it's hard to know how what regulations you can have to prevent this kind of thing, where it ends up reaffirming your desire to commit suicide, because that's.
Well, I mean,
I don't even know how,
I think
how
in
that
that,
can be
I think in
regulated.
that situation, anytime that subject comes up, there should be an alert.
An automatic. Yeah.
The chat thing should just say you need to speak to a professional.
I can't
something.
answer any more
I can't
questions.
answer any more questions. I mean, this is not hard. to
I
do.
can't help you with
I
that.
can't help you with
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
but the designers of the software need to make that happen.
Yeah.
And this is where regulation comes in, where we get people in the room and say, this is what needs to happen when someone says, should I overdose 10 times? And the thing starts saying, yeah, you should overdose. Go get this and get this.
Right.
And
I guess,
that's
yeah,
that's
I
that's
mean,
the
maybe
reality.
it's an easier. Yeah, maybe it's an easier question when the topic of suicide or murder comes
Right.
up. But a lot of people use it now for health guide. My older daughter uses it all the time for health questions. I mean, anytime she's got a question about her baby, she checks with ChatGPT and.
My wife does the same.
And,
I think
and,
it's-
and so the other example I just gave, where the ChatGPT went from saying, "Yeah, get some surgery," to saying, "Hey, no, you're fine. You don't need surgery."
See, that's
'Cause-
dangerous.
And that's
Well,
That's
hold-
dangerous.
And
it's
there's- and
dangerous
that's-
if you don't call your doctor.
But,
Well, absolutely.
but,
And this is where a little common sense might come into play here.
but common sense in that you can't be regulated.
When you
Well,
cannot
we've
regulate
never
common
we've
sense.
never regulated common sense. We've never done that, and people need to stop expecting
Yeah.
these communities to regulate their common sense. You cannot do that.
But
yeah,
also
so-
the other interesting thing is there seems to be a division among some of these companies about where some of them want to go. So like Anthropic, they got into a big kerfuffle with the Defense Department because there were things that they just didn't want the Defense Department to be able to do with their AI. And they are actually contributing money to candidates who are in favor of AI regulation.
Yeah.
And whereas you have Sam Altman, hands off.
Right.
That's right. Yeah,
Right.
because any regulation is going to cut into his profit margin.
But and the question is,
Yeah.
when does this become a national security risk?
Well, it's-
What does it turn
Clearly
into
a
when
national
it's
security
rogue?
risk if it's going rogue and doing
Right.
hacking into another
Is it going
company
to shoot a
without-
missile off that nobody approved? What we're doing?
exactly.
I mean, that's where
Yeah.
that's where we're going.
Yeah.
If you put certain things in, the thing starts thinking for itself.
Yeah.
Well, as
We've
I've
been
said,
attacked,
as
let's
I've
shoot the
said
missile.
before, some of us saw the Terminator movies back in the 80s and saw all this coming.
And so they
And
need to do that. They need to do.
What would we have said? Don't develop it in the first place.
They need to do some type of regulation before we get to the robot stage, because your guy Elon he's already got a robot coming. So
Everybody got robots.
Everybody got
got a
robots.
robot.
we've got to get a hold of it before that, because then
Difference
you're
with-
really terminated.
Well-
Then you're really
Well,
terminated.
Well, that Terminator
I didn't
rebuilt
know
itself,
that.
which is a little. I think
I mean,
that's
I
a
get
little
you,
far fetched.
But iRobot exists too.
You mean iRobot?
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. iRobot, the movie.
The movie. Oh, yeah.
That's
Robots going rogue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then if they're faster, stronger, smarter than the average human, then well, we got a problem.
There you go.
Well, but yeah, I don't know that the actual robot is the bigger problem than just AI going in and hacking
True.
off on its own, hacking companies. And,
Well, I think we can all agree that there's a lot of really interesting things and useful things that AI can do, in the health field, the research field, lots of other things. But you got to figure out some way to put some guardrails around this.
Yeah.
And
so it doesn't go off the rails.
But that's a really tough question.
It is.
And that's why a lot of these companies are looking to hire philosophers.
Of course.
Which both
ethicists. So you're going to say, yes.
My son-in-law's mother and my daughter have all been telling my son-in-law, because he's this philosophy professor.
He should go to work for a big tech company.
And we're all saying, hey, you could triple your income.
They'd probably pay him $100,000 a month for good philosophical
more,
advice.
and they wouldn't have to live in Florida. They could come back here.
After 100 years, philosophers actually have a path forward.
So I know, but he's not biting.
You know what?
He wants to stay there.
I am now thinking that philosophy minor I had in college might come in handy.
Oh, dust that off.
There you go.
Dust that off, because
All right. Well,
with a lot of these, it's not an easy regulatory solution. It really has to do with how they are programmed.
Yeah.
And what kind of boundaries you can program in there.
We got a lot of things. We have a lot of things to be concerned about here.
Yes, we do. Yes, we
now
do.
all we need are some courageous leaders. Oh, wait, we don't have too many. All right, so from the scary to what I think is funny, which is the rise of democratic socialists in America. And who are they representing? However, I think we're going to need maybe a little refresher.
Once you start taking on
all right,
socialism, you gotta rewind.
All right, we are back. We are back with a fun topic, which is Democratic Socialists of America, and who do they actually represent? And there was an interesting article in The Hill this week where they were talking about the Democratic primary in Michigan against it was between Representative Haley Stevens, who calls herself a moderate, and Abdul El Sayed, who is Democratic Socialist of America. And the issue is
the headline is Black voters hate lefty socialists. Abdul El Sayed, black opponent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's like so the article it goes on to say, and like other far left radical socialists, El Sayed's base of support is, wait for it, highly educated white people.
Rich
white people.
And not the working class that supposedly the socialists are fighting for.
Well, that's just one poll.
It's not just one poll. Many polls. Pew found the same thing.
Poll's a poll. Who cares?
Polling says.
We have an election coming up, and we're going to find out where people are.
I posed this question on the last podcast. Are Democratic Socialists good for the Democratic Party, or are they not good for the Democratic Party?
I think it's how you package your socialists.
You mean
socialism?
You mean how effectively you lie about what you really believe in?
No, it's about. I think people want to know that in this climate, the government is going to do what they can to help them have a better life. That's just the bottom line.
I agree.
Our Republicans want to always make things far worse than they are. So
in what way?
They're going to destroy capitalism. They're going to not let people thrive and make their own way. I mean, everything is doom and gloom for the Republicans. So on this issue, people want to know that we're not going to continue to see trillionaires make more and more money, poor people get more and more destitute, and the middle class pay more and more taxes. That is the argument. So once packaged properly, I think we're going to be okay.
Patrick, do you think
the
that
idea that the middle class are paying more taxes, that's ridiculous.
We pay
Half
more
the country
tax-
doesn't even pay federal income taxes.
Well, I do, and I'm sick of it.
Well, I pay
and it's
federal
too
income
much.
taxes,
Damn
too.
it! And I want Elon Musk to pay more, and I want Jeff Bezos to pay more. That's just what it is. Now, it's too much.
I think there's a lot of moderate Democrats that are not happy with this, with the Socialist Party and their success.
Well, I mean,
and do not think this is good for the Democratic
a lot
Party
of
in the long run.
A lot of Republicans can't stand MAGA, and it is just a fight within. And this is what we got to do. We got to figure this out.
So let me give you an example.
But then the question is, we got to figure it out. And where do you land? Do you think this is a good trend for I think MAGA is bad for the Republican Party.
It is.
And I think that the socialists are bad for the Democratic
And what's
Party.
happening to MAGA? They're just falling asleep. They're dying off.
What are you talking about?
Oh, there's very few MAGAs left.
Well, that's not true because, unfortunately, Republicans have nominated some highly questionable people for congressional and Senate seats and gubernatorial seats this fall. And that, I personally don't think that those folks are going to do very well.
But I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. But are you saying then conversely that the socialists are just going to die off? I'm not sure where you're going with that.
Oh, absolutely.
You mean after they take over and destroy the country?
They're not going to take over.
It's a lot easier to destroy things than it is to build them up.
American voters are smart. Well, and they will.
They didn't like Trump twice.
So Kevin, I've got an example for you.
Not those American voters.
Kevin, I've got
the majority. That's the majority.
So I have an example for you. So as I have repeatedly proven to you, America has a very progressive tax code. The top 10% pay about 72% of all federal income taxes, okay? Now, there's a Republican candidate in Arizona. Actually, he's the Republican nominee for governor in Arizona, Andy Biggs. And he once proposed a 23% consumption tax to replace the income tax. You know who's opposed to that? Democrats. You know why? Because half the country doesn't pay federal income taxes, so if you put a 23% consumption tax in instead of income taxes, that would hit
everybody,
working class people a lot harder. But it would get to what you want, which you're charging consumption, so all the rich people who are buying up stuff would pay more money.
Taxes.
Well, the rich people they're not buying up stuff; they're buying up assets and calling the company assets, taking advantage of what is it called? The capital gains, and they're not paying personal.
But they buy things. They buy homes. They buy cars. They buy art.
They buy yachts,
they buy airplanes. They
for
buy
themselves.
Yachts.
For themselves.
But they would be charged a consumption tax for that.
Are you advocating we do away with capital gains tax then and tax everything with the income tax rate? Because that's not popular either. I mean,
it's not popular, but hey, we need to do something where it's more fair. And I'm okay with poor people paying something.
Are you advocating for that we do away with capital gains tax and everything tax at the income tax rate?
I'm arguing for a fair tax code where everybody.
That's easier said than done. And
we have the most progressive tax code already.
Progressive doesn't mean fair. It just means that we tax the hell out of people in this country who have resources. That's what it means. But
are you saying we shouldn't tax people with resources?
That's what you wanted us to do.
What I'm saying is the wealthiest in this country don't pay a fair amount.
They absolutely do.
Just because you say they pay 70% of all the taxes doesn't mean they pay their fair share.
We do have.
And if you want to argue
the most progressive tax system in the world. So being progressive doesn't mean our society is the most progressive, but we do have the most progressive tax system according to a number of studies. And one of the reasons is because Europe, for example, does rely heavily on the VAT tax, which is consumption tax, which is value-added tax.
Which is what they do in Europe, in a lot of countries in Europe.
So you pay tax in every step of the way for all goods and services, VAT tax. And that happens to be a regressive tax because
it hits
lower income people spend more of their income on goods and services.
That's right.
So,
well, everybody should have skin in the game.
Do you all believe that there's tax loopholes?
Absolutely, there's tax loopholes. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, but we still have yes. There are, but again, so for every solution, there's a problem. Again, say like rich people take advantage of the capital gains tax, which is a lower tax rate than the income tax.
Right.
So do you advocate for doing away with capital gains and everything's taxed at income tax rate? Probably not, because then you sell your house, or it would impact all of us badly if we had to pay our income tax rate on capital gains that we make through our houses or our stock or whatever. So for every solution, there's a problem, and that's always the problem with making the tax code more fair. It's not like,
So
hey,
we
let's
agree
figure
it's
out how
unfair.
it is
So we
progressive.
agree it's progressive and unfair.
It's not unfair. I mean, we've talked about this 100 times. I mean, very, very, very
It's
wealthy
more
people
progressive than other
are paying an
countries.
effective tax rate somewhere between 25 and 30% because of capital gains taxes.
And very wealthy people are paying more in their taxes, relatively speaking, than other
Well,
countries.
of course they are. As a percentage of the federal income taxes, they pay even more than 70%.
I mean, there are other countries where everybody pays a higher tax, but it's still less progressive, in that rich people, relatively speaking, pay less than they do in our country.
Jeff
relative to lower
Bezos and
income
Elon
people.
Musk and the billionaires in this country can write off almost everything they do, and they call them, they don't take a salary. That's why they don't pay personal income tax. So
But again,
their
so the other article-
their corporations pay whatever tax are required of those businesses. But these people who are living as billionaires do not pay personal income tax to the tune of what we pay.
That's not true.
It is true.
They do on their income. They
get
pay
around it because the corporation owns everything,
They have to pay,
and that's how they get away
they
with
still have to
paying
pay,
less
They
taxes.
still have to pay a personal income tax of 39%. Okay,
And
and
the
then,
question
and then they're
is-
paying a capital gains tax.
So
of
Warren
whatever the
Buffett,
capital gains tax is,
Warren
20%?
Buffett says his secretary paid more taxes than him.
That is not true.
That is
He has
what
been
the
saying
man
that for-
said.
That's
That
he's
is
been
what
saying
the
that
man
for years.
said.
It's totally false.
It's not false.
It's totally false.
In terms of percentage, he pays less, and that is the problem.
That's because Warren doesn't take a salary.
I just said that. What are you talking about?
But the idea that he's
Okay, but-
paying less, I mean, who gives a shit if he's paying less as a percentage?
Wait,
I do.
in
I
terms
do.
of
I don't
the-
want
in
Warren
terms of-
Buffett paying less percentage than me.
In terms of the amount of money that he's paying, it's massively more than his secretary.
I don't care what he's paying. If he's telling me that he's only making $50,000 a year as the CEO of one of the wealthiest companies in this country, and you're telling me it's okay if his ass pays 50% in personal taxes, that's terrible.
Do you realize the 20% that he's paying on capital gains tax? That's hundreds
Who
of
cares?
millions
It is
of dollars
the-
in taxes.
Who cares? Who cares? He should be paying the 33% that I'm paying and put more money in the bucket.
Okay, so let's walk through that. Okay,
Yes.
If we were to do that, that would mean the capital gains rate would have to be the same as the income tax rate.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, and do you realize how many regular people pay capital gains taxes?
That would hurt.
How many middle class people?
Here's my point. If these
Including
people,
you,
if
by the way.
Well,
Yeah, so you wouldn't want.
listen to what I'm
pay.
saying. The point is this: if he's a employee of that corporation, he should have a salary based on whatever, and that salary he should be taxed on his income tax.
He is 39%.
He is not, because he is saying, "I don't take a salary."
But are you going to?
So these
are you going to
people
pass
are
a special
getting
law?
around the personal income
Okay,
tax
but-
that I have to pay.
Well, he has to pay too on his income, and so then we're back to the capital gains discussion. Because are you just going to change the rules on capital gains for one person's capital gains or for everybody's capital gains?
I mean, Democrats can solve a lot of problems. I can't solve this one
They-
tonight.
they- no one-
But
Democrats create a lot of problems.
I mean,
Because their solution to this, let's just go seize their wealth. Which is why you have a wealth tax on the ballot in
there's the scary
California.
Republican. They're going to just seize their. You can't fall for that. That's what
It's
they do.
true.
It's not
That's
true.
what the Democrats are for.
That's not what we're for.
Elizabeth Warren had that proposal at the federal level to seize 5%.
We want people to
She
thrive.
wants to tax unrealized capital gains. So you haven't made any money on it, but we're going to tax you anyway.
Well, hold on.
Unrealized capital gains.
Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 million. He didn't have that
Billion.
money. $44 billion. He didn't have that money. But they said his value was $44 billion, but he didn't have to show up with a $44 billion check to take over the company. You go to the grocery store, you got to show your $10 to get your bananas. That's just the way it is. But they don't. But they don't. They do. He doesn't have.
Bananas might have been $10, but that was when Joe Biden was president.
Touche.
So Elon Musk has several times put up all of his assets on the line for his companies, and had they gone into bankruptcy, he would have had to sell everything in order to pay it off. So now the question that John asked is, do we tax unrealized capital gains? Because then, I mean,
if you can spend unrealized capital gains, you should be taxed on unrealized capital gains. Now, that's just the way it is. You can spend it, then you get taxed on it.
This would require a lot of, as we said, farm owners to sell their farms, because they're not realized they own these assets, the farms, but they're not realizing the money or the capital gains on it. And if they were taxed on the value of it, the unrealized value of it, many of them would have to sell their farms to pay their taxes.
Welcome to America.
Let's get back to our original conversation.
Look. I mean, this is all related. I mean, because the Democratic Socialists of America, they want to tax and regulate us into oblivion. They want to get rid of the Electoral College. They want to defund police. They want to abolish ICE. They want to get rid of the presidency. They want to abolish the Senate. I mean, look. I find all of this truly frightening. And if anybody is truly interested in, they say it all on their website. Just go to Democratic Socialists of America. They tell you exactly what they believe. It is Marxism. And there's plenty of examples throughout the course of history of how well Marxism is done. And so far, 90 miles south in Cuba, we can see a brilliant example of how it's worked.
So far their campaigns are of the Democratic Socialists that are winning. Their campaigns are also very anti-Semitic.
That's right.
Don't be scared about all this rhetoric you're hearing.
It's not. That's what they believe.
Again, people have a lot of beliefs. There are people on the other side that have some weird beliefs too. In America, we talk, we compromise.
No, we do.
And we
do.
We bring about good policy.
Yeah, okay.
And we bring about good change. It's like we are. Everybody argued about the transgender people playing in girl sports. I think most Americans agree a boy shouldn't play with girls.
That's like a 90-10 issue.
Okay. So that's where we are. I don't think most people want to see. Nobody wants the police to go away. Nobody wants the police.
Except the Democratic Socialists of America. It's right there in their platform.
Most people in America are not talking and agreeing and in a
that's why we have elections.
Well, and look,
that's why we have free and fair elections, and we get the people in there. And the crazy
people we get in there are not talking to each other.
The one crazy who has to make sure that the other sane person is on board balances that out. Okay. That's why we have it.
So let me ask you another question. So for 37 podcasts, I've listened to the two of you say to me, well, I don't understand why Republicans just won't challenge Trump. Why won't they come out and just say he's wrong? Now, we're watching all these Democratic Socialists, anti-Semites, defund police, get rid of ICE, abolish the government. Where are all the Democrats criticizing this?
We have a lot of Democrats who criticize.
None of them are doing it. They're dancing around.
No.
Carville.
James Carville, he's out there.
Carville's 150 years old.
Oh my God,
he's out there. I do not want these socialists in my party.
Hey, Carville sits and drinks all day.
Good for him. Good for him.
I find them entertaining.
He's very
Where are
entertaining.
the Democratic policymakers?
Hold on.
Mark Warner,
Wait a minute.
Schumer?
Yeah. I'll tell you where they are. They are pushing back on this, but they're not doing it publicly, which is okay.
Oh my God!
You don't have to go out on the camera and stand in front of the microphone and
they are not pushing back.
They are pushing back.
Hypocrisy.
They are pushing back.
Ro Khanna is out there endorsing all of them.
That's right.
He's not like he's just sitting back.
Yeah, Ro Khanna. Well, I draw the line at rape. Good God.
The Nazis tattoo, that's okay. I draw the line
at rape. I draw the line at rape. Rest of that stuff, that's fine. Because we got to win. Come on. It's ridiculous.
Well, I do think we need to win and get some balance back. So There you go.
Well,
'Cause we are-
when you say
At all
we,
costs?
do you mean do you mean like the American people?
American, yes.
You mean Graham
Yes, 'cause
Plotner?
if I had to guess, most of us really don't like what we're watching right now. So
no,
this is scary.
It's dysfunctional.
This is scarier than what's happening with the socialists talk. What's happening now is scarier than what the socialists just talking about. This is scary.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just terrible.
I would have to.
And Americans should say this is bad. This guy is not.
It's not this guy. It's
Well,
all,
it's all of them. All of them are
It's all of
just
them.
watching it. Just
Well,
watching
I mean,
them
I
and
said
erode
this.
it away.
I said this once before. We're going to devote at least part of a podcast to the issue of gerrymandering, which is how we're getting all these lunatics on both sides of the aisle.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. I agree with that.
Well, I was just watching Joe Manchin be interviewed on CNN today, and one of his arguments is that the fact that independents now, the majority party, I think 44% of people identify as independents, so that's bigger than how many people identify as Democrats or Republicans. We can't vote in primaries. So that is also contributing to the fact that in the primaries you get the people that are
Cuckoos.
the cuckoos.
Okay, so here's the question. So I believe that independents should be able to vote in all primaries.
Yeah.
They ought to be able to say, I want a Democratic ballot or I want a Republican ballot,
Yes.
but they ought to be able to vote in primaries.
Yeah.
The question is, should that be a federal law?
Well, I don't even think when you vote in the primaries, you should have to declare a party. You should be able to go and vote however you want.
I would
Period.
be okay with that also.
I would not be okay with that.
Of course not.
But I am,
Of course not.
But I am in favor. I am in favor. You can't disenfranchise independent voters during the primary process.
Yes, because that leads to another
There's a skewed
skewed election.
No different than the statistics y'all put out here that are skewed today.
We've put out the facts.
That skewed article you read is skewed.
Oh my God! My God! Listen.
There are several.
When you think about, I mean, this is what frustrates me as somebody who's been in Washington for the better part of 40 years. Here I am telling people how old I am. It's terrible. But I mean, you think about all of the huge problems that we have in front of us. I mean, we're now in, the war that Trump said was going to take 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
I mean, how many months are we in now? 4 months? 5 months?
4 or 5 months.
Yep. Price of oil is now over $100 a barrel. I paid $5 a gallon for gasoline this week.
Oh yeah.
This pisses people off.
Yeah.
Well, you got-
Right?
All
it
of
just
us.
pisses
All of
people
us.
off.
All of
In
us.
I read a stat today that the senators who are going to be elected in 2026, within their term, that is when Social Security will be bankrupt, unless there's a massive benefit cut.
Yeah, because
Nobody knows this.
Well,
Oh, somebody knows it. It's not doing anything about it.
We've been talking about this for decades.
Yeah.
I remember spending several years in the Senate trying to
And it's
solve
not
this
helping.
problem.
But
Not
the,
helping.
but,
We're
but the,
just
me- the
spending money
media,
like
Because no
crazy.
one-
I mean, the
well,
media is partly
the-
to blame for this because the media does not ask these politicians any difficult questions about any of these things.
Well, I mean, we're a country where we got to have the headline right now. So wherever the president is, wherever something is happening over here, somebody gets killed, is whatever's on video. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about anything else. That's just what it is. So the news cycle is bombarded with breaking news. Everything is breaking news.
Oh, everything.
Every single thing.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with Social Security is that the solution is painful no matter how you look at it. So no politician has ever been able to deal with it. We've had
No
Many-
politician has been willing to deal with it.
That's right.
we've been
In a
willing-
meaningful way.
because the solution isn't that bad. It's just painful. There's only two things you can do. You either got to raise Social Security taxes or you got to cut benefits. Those are only two options. So.
And we're losing workers.
Well, no,
We're losing workers.
I don't think that there are only two options.
Yes, there's
I
different-
would do what you completely oppose. I would means test Social Security and Medicare.
That's never been popular because one thing Social Security has is buy-in, that everybody gets Social Security benefits.
Right.
But there's different ways to reduce benefits. I mean, people are living longer, so if you raise the retirement age, that is a reduction in benefits because you have to wait longer. But people, when we first enacted Social Security, people were dying at 60, and now they're living to 100. So you're paying an extra 40 years of Social Security benefits.
We almost have, we almost have a higher retirement age anyway, because if you look at, you could start taking Social Security at 62, but if you start taking Social Security at 62, you're not going to get a lot of money.
So
they incentivize you to work longer.
Right.
Yes,
well, the problem now is
until you're 70, you're going to get significantly more each month from Social Security.
Well, we're in this process now where people are losing their jobs when they're 60. They got to take it. They don't have a choice.
Right.
So we're losing a workforce. The older workforce is also losing their jobs and probably can't find a job to supplement or enough to supplement. So and then the younger people are not working like we worked. And it is far fewer of them, and it's far more of us that's getting ready to take on Social Security.
That's the biggest problem. The demographics, because now there's 2 people working who support every retiree, whereas initially there were 15 people working.
Maybe Elon and the boys will put together a fund Social Security. I'd be really happy about that. What's wrong with that? Huh? Got $1 trillion over there. Let's give it to Social Security.
Well, what they ought to be doing is they ought to be largely paying for their own data centers. I'm in favor of that.
Well, there's another benefit to our wealthy people that they just take from the
But if we just use your solution to this, which is you either got to tax people or you have to cut benefits, what do you say to people who are, let's just say the 50 and over crowd? Do you really think it's fair to the 50 and over crowd who are on the back end of their work life that we should be cutting their benefits?
No,
step up your 401k payment. You got to do something. What are we gonna do?
Well, look,
if you implement changes, it has to apply to a much younger generation.
Yes, of course. And look, I've said this before, which is also controversial. If Social Security had been invested in the S&P 500,
be good
over the last 50 years,
true,
we wouldn't have a problem.
You're right about that. You're right about that. We all agree on that.
We would not have a problem. Okay, and people would be getting a hell of a lot more money out of Social Security.
Yeah,
and I would add George W. Bush. Back in 2005, after he was reelected, proposed Social Security reform, and it was very modest. People should be able to invest 2 to 4% of Social Security into private accounts, and the Democrats went apeshit and just demagogued it. Republicans should cut Social Security. It's awful. The Democrats are not serious about dealing with this.
Well, nobody is.
Well, people don't like change, and it's scary to think that. If you put money in the S&P and it doesn't work out well, that's even scarier. So I get why people want to stay the course, but you got to do something.
You got to do something.
You absolutely have to do something.
Yeah.
Well, I will say we had a list of 5 or 6 topics. We probably got to 2 of them, and then we went off the rails and talked about all the problems facing America.
So us and the president.
But thus is the nature of our podcast.
Yes, it is.
There you go.
And another great cast.
It was a good podcast.
Any other quick hits? We've got a couple more minutes.
Subscribe and like. Come on, guys! Subscribe and like.
Give us some comments, guys. We never get any comments on the YouTubes.
Well,
we haven't in a while. We did get some.
Did you get some? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna send out some clips of Rachel and I beating down Kevin. And those will be highly entertaining.
Oh yeah.
It's all good.
All right.
A good night.
All right. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend, guys.
Thank you.